Shahnaz, would you like to go first? Tell us a little about your company. If you actually, maybe Shahnaz, you want to go second because I do want you to pull up your slides. So if you can get your slide decks, we'll go with Emmanuel first because I want to see if you have them available, Shahnaz. Let me know in the chat. But I'd love for them to see the videos and stuff that you have. So Emmanuel, maybe we could go with you first while she's pulling up her deck.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Emmanuel from Nigeria. Our business is, we really deal with baobab trees. Thus, we utilize the baobab seed in production of oil and also production of protein fiber, which is being used in animal feed production. So basically, we don't deal directly with organic fertilizer production, but we have customers that really use the protein fiber as a source of nitrogen in organic fertilizer production. Yeah, so basically we are dealing with our business model is extraction of oil from baobab. We use the oil we refine the oil for human consumption, and also we sell the protein fiber being gotten from the baobab, that's in form of baobab cake to animal farmers. They integrate it in animal feed production as a source of protein. And also it's being used in organic fertilizer production as a source of nitrogen in the organic fertilizer. Thank you.
Thank you so much. I'm sure we'll have more questions about how you decided to go into baobab production a little bit later and what that means for your stakeholders as well, as baobab is a really old growing tree, a native tree. So we'd love to hear a little bit more later about how this becomes perhaps a scalable operation and how you're able to grow the demand for baobab seeds. I think a lot of people here are also looking at unique crops that they need to grow the demand for. So I do see, let's see, I got a little chat message here. And oh, okay, no problem. So Shahnaz, you're going to be fine. We'd love to just hear from you about what you're able to share with us about your company. Thanks, Shahnaz. Oh no, we're not looking for a 15-minute talk. We're looking for like a 2-minute introduction right now, or 1 to 2 minutes, and then we'll have more of a panel conversation. Mm-hmm.
First of all, thank you so much, Samuel, Amanda, and entire WRI team for inviting me as a speaker. Glad to be here and too much excited to meet you all. Thank you so much, and good morning, good evening, everyone. So this is Shahnaz. I am founder and CEO at Diagenex International Private Limited. We are based in Mumbai, India. So we are inventing, manufacturing, and selling AI-enabled pest management devices for crop protection in agriculture sector. So we are working this project since 2001, and we have launched this product in the year 2014, and from 2014 to till date, we are selling these devices across globe. This is brief about me. So Amanda, shall I go ahead with my startup journey, or is this interactive session like question and
Sure. No, I think that we can go ahead with your startup journey. So let's just say, Shahnaz, what problem are you solving with your traps, and how did you and how are you different from a lot of other pest management that's out there?
Thank you, Amanda. So I just would like to share my first of all startup journey, how we have started, probably what kind of problems we have faced while cultivating crops in our farm. So actually we are involved in farming. Our family is involved in the farming, and while cultivating various crops in our farm, we faced acute insect pest infestation and synthetic pesticide toxicity issues with our farm workers and dairy animals. So these issues made us to think over how to solve insect pest management issues without use of any toxic chemicals. So we started working on finding alternative solution to toxic pesticides available in the market. And that time we have realized that there is no viable and efficient solution available in the market for insect pest management. And me and my co-founder started working on environmental friendly, non-toxic agriculture pest management solution to serve the most deprived global farming community by reducing their input cost for crop protection and improving their living condition by minimizing their exposure to highly toxic chemical contamination. So in the year 2001, we have started study on entomology and research on insect behavior responses. And down the line, in a few years, we have developed a different kind of communication signals, including vision, olfactory, acoustic touch, and sensational communications with insects and alter their behavior in their responses to these communication signals. So in the process of development of AI-enabled next generation insect communication technology, we built multiple prototypes and different trials.
So Shahnaz, I wanted to ask you, so what do farmers like most about your product? Like, what makes your product sell? Like, what are the things that they find out your product has that makes them want to buy it?
Yeah, so currently problems what we are solving, as you know, the farmers and scientists across the world are struggling to protect the crop from insect pests and diseases. Then majority of insect pests have developed resistance against pesticides. Day by day, the cost of pesticide is increasing. Across the world, the government are putting bans on toxic pesticides and farmers are left with fewer options for crop protection. And growers end up in frustration after spending huge money on their crop to insect pest. And sometimes growers lose almost 100% crop due to insect pest infestation. Apart from this, each year 2 lakh people die from pesticide poisoning. And these pesticides linked to cancer, then Alzheimer's diseases, Parkinson disease, then depression and anxiety, asthma, diabetes, etc. So we have addressed the issues related with insect pest management successfully by developing next generation AI-enabled pest management devices. And these devices are able to protect all kinds of crops, including horticulture, vegetable, floriculture, then plantation crops, spices, grain and millets, etc., including open as well as in protected farms. And after this is a broad spectrum solution, and it exterminates 2,000 plus types of harmful insects that includes omnivorous and herbivorous insects. And it is safeguard to beneficial insects like honeybees, predatory insects, parasitoids, etc. After deployment of these devices, there is no need to spray any chemical pesticides, and farmers can achieve about 95% pest control. And it increased the yield by 40%, and the farm produce is residue-free food. Then it zero down the labor cost because the devices are fully automatic and solar-based. So there is no human intervention required on day-to-day basis. And yeah. So,
all right, so to summarize, it's like, you know, more and more governments are banning the use of chemicals. Farmers are left with fewer options. It's good that they're banning these chemicals, but farmers are starting to look for different options that could work for them to control pests. You have a solution that you can stake it in the field. It's solar powered. You have to maybe go visit it. How often? Twice a year?
We have developed 6 models for BraveHawk series product, and area coverage is 1 acre to 1 hectare area in any cropland, and life of product is 3 to 7 years without any maintenance.
No maintenance for 3 to 7 years. You put this thing in the ground and your hectare is covered. So I want to launch a poll right now asking people, it's called pitching, but I didn't change the title of the poll, sorry. And the question is, how much of a worry is pest infestation for you? So we just wanted to know of all the people who are here, go ahead and check the poll. And we've got various answers. You can only select one. It's a worry, but you're controlling it with either natural systems, chemicals, or a mixture of chemicals and natural systems. It's a big problem and I don't yet have an effective treatment, or perhaps it doesn't affect your business model. So far we've had 12, 13 people fill that out. So just interested to see how big of a concern pest management is for the people in the room. So we've had about half the people fill it out. We really welcome you there for filling that out. And I think you'll see that even in this room, we have some people who are really big proponents of bio controls. And so this is why we're talking about this in this session today. So wanted to thank you for sharing about your product, Shahnaz. And I'm wondering, we have a lot of people from across Africa and India in the room today, but I think we've got more from Africa. Was wondering, are you shipping to Africa at this point, or are you still looking to grow?
Yeah, actually, we had we have initiated talk with some our distributor channel over there in Africa, specifically in Nigeria, and in near future we will dispatch materials in Africa, and we will explore the opportunity in Kenya, Nigeria, then other countries.
So basically, you're able to ship if you get a big enough order. Is that right?
Yeah.
And what size order are you looking for before you're able to start a partnership in another country?
It's around 2,000 to 3,000.
So 2,000 to 3,000 pests. So that would be enough to cover 2,000 to 5,000 hectares. So we do need a big partnership, but if people are interested, while the other folks are talking, I'm going to see if I can find some photos of Shahnaz's product, but we can talk more about that later. I wanted to invite Samuel to see if he could run the questions, interview questions, maybe by Emmanuel and Jane for a second, and I'll end the poll. We had 36 people respond, and you can see the results right there. All except for six of 36 people, 17%, are affected by pests in their business models. Some people have business models where pest isn't messing with them because we have different business models here. But for most people, they're concerned about pest infestations, and 19% don't have an effective treatment yet, so they're looking for that. And we see that a lot of our folks are doing this with the natural systems or a mixture of natural and chemicals, but just wanted to see that layout amongst our group. So thank you for filling out that poll. And now passing it to Samuel.
Shahnaz, there is a question on the chat. Perhaps you may want to clarify which pest your innovation is actually helping with. And also perhaps you can also talk about the unit price. How much does it cost to acquire one?
Hello guys. Yeah, so our device controls 2,000 plus harmful insects that includes herbivorous, omnivorous insects. For example, sucking pests like thrips, jaspids, aphids, etc. Apart from these different kinds of beetles, moths, root grubs, stem borer, fruit borer, then shoot borer, etc. So including 2,000 plus harmful insects would be catch in these devices. And yeah, our next question was, I think,
regarding the price, unit price.
Yeah, the price started from $460.
Yeah, thanks so much. Perhaps in the subsequent question, we may want to ask about how many farmers have been able to adopt this. But I want to bring you, Emmanuel. From the statistics, we have actually seen that majority of the participants here are actually using natural methods to control pests. I know you have been in agribusiness for a while. What is working for you in Nigeria?
As I said earlier, that majority of pests have developed resistance against pesticides. And in a natural way, there are neem spray. Then some biopesticides are there like herbal spray. So, despite of that, there is no control on insect pests. So that time we need to refer or use integrated pest management system to control these kind of devices. And our technology is very indigenous and very effective, cost effective, efficient, and its efficacy is above 95%.
Yeah, thanks so much, Shanaz. Emmanuel, perhaps you may want to give us a scenario in Nigeria. What have you guys been using from a pest management side of view? And then we can get to Jane. Perhaps Amanda, you can pin Jane. Emmanuel, go next.
Yeah, really, in Nigeria, we have always been using the natural method to resolve our pest challenges. So, most especially, only few farmers use chemical to resolve their pesticide challenges, but pest challenges, we always depend on the natural technique to resolve it.
Yeah, thanks so much, Emmanuel. I see Jane is here. Welcome so much, Jane. So Emmanuel and Jane are our past alumni for the 2021 class, and we are happy to have you. So thank you so much for joining. Perhaps Jane, you may want to introduce yourself and the value chain that you engaged in.
Thank you very much, Samuel and Amanda. I hope I am audible. I hope you can hear me. And my apologies, I might be in a bit of a noisy background, but I believe we shall hear each other. Yeah, so my name is Jane Maigwa. I am from Nairobi, Kenya. I'm in the business of sourcing macadamia nuts, processing and exporting to different destinations. Our main market is USA, Canada, Spain, Germany, Italy, and China. Yeah, so the business is working from 11 counties in Kenya, where we have over 2,400 smallholder farmers whom we are sourcing from the macadamia nuts in shell. We call it nuts in shell. They are growing the macadamia trees, and when they harvest, they sell that to us through the various collection centers we have. We bring the product to our factory in Nairobi, where we do the processing and eventually we export. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much, Jane. Perhaps Constantine, if you can mute yourself. There's some noise coming.
Yeah, I keep trying to mute him and it's not working. I don't know why.
Okay.
But it's not working for me to mute him, so.
Yeah, Constantine, please just mute yourself. Yeah, thanks so much, Jane. You always have this very good story of how you started your business. Perhaps you may want to share with the team here your entrepreneurial journey.
Thank you so much, Samuel, for that question and for having me here to be able to share our story. I'll keep it short. Usually it's a long story. If we had more time and coffee would, give it. But maybe for the audience, just to say the business is called Exotic EPZ. Exotic EPZ. It is a company that is owned and run by 3 women. Myself being the CEO, and I have 2 partner ladies. It's the only women-led macadamia processing and export company in East Africa. Actually, Samuel and Amanda, we discovered in East Africa, we are the only women that are processing and exporting macadamia nuts. So we started this business in 2017. We left our regular jobs At that time, I was working in the UN, and I had this ambition of working in agricultural value chains and doing business that was going to create multiple impacts, that was going to challenge me as I challenge others, because I was hoping to be a role model as I set up this business with my partners. And so we looked at so many value chains in the agricultural space, researching on them and trying to discover which ones were going to meet the passion we had. It was based on a passion to create multiple levels of impact, particularly in value addition, in creating jobs for people, particularly youth, in creating wealth, rural wealth, and income opportunities for rural populations, especially smallholder farmers, and a business that was going to have some impact on the environment, a positive impact on the environment. So we had this kind of criteria at the back of our minds, having come from a sort of similar work in the development sector. So through a lot of research, we came across macadamia nuts value chain, which is where we decided to settle. It fitted a lot of the criteria we had. It had international markets. And on the other side of the supply chain, we had hundreds of thousands of smallholder farmers that were working there. And we had to do value addition by law, because in Kenya, you cannot export macadamia in their raw form. You have to process. So we knew we were going to set up a value addition enterprise, and that was going to create opportunities for people to work. And that was what was our passion about. And so for the last 4 years, we have been running this business and growing the farmer base, month by month. Now we are at direct farmers at 2,400, and indirectly we buy from aggregators as well, who are buying from farmers. And we estimate another about 5,000 farmers, because they're able to reach so many that we are not able to reach. And so that's in terms of the rural jobs and incomes. At the enterprise, we have about 100 people working for us now. Decent jobs. We really look deep inside what type of jobs we are creating, whether they are creating wages that benefit the workers, and whether we are giving safety at work, occupational safety and health, and all the aspects of decent work. We are looking at them, the working conditions and the welfare of the workers. On the environment side of things, we are very cautious about this value chain, because its basis is trees. The core product is coming from trees, and large trees actually, that create such positive environmental impacts, sinking carbon, and so on and so forth. And so that is how we started this business, and we have continued to work on different things that we can do to impact on these multiple areas of impacts that we are looking at. Of course, it's an international business. We have to make it viable, so we work a lot on the operations, and thanks to Land Accelerator, we went through the first cohort, and we received a lot of support in that area, and capacity and knowledge on how we can strengthen the business. So maybe I've spoken a lot. We can continue with the questions.
Yeah, thanks so much, Jane. Very insightful. You did actually mention working with more than 700 farmers through your business. And somebody might ask, how do you manage?
2,000
yes.
direct, yeah.
Yeah.
And
yeah,
5,000 indirect, yeah.
Absolutely. So I'm doing the aggregation, and you're supporting through your business more than 7,000 farmers. So someone may ask, how are you able to manage all this? What are some of the incentives do you give the farmers to continue working with you?
Yeah, so primarily the primary relationship we have with farmers, what we have to establish first is a transactional relationship, that we are providing a sustainable market for their produce. Not only sustainable in the sense of continuously buying from them, but also addressing some of the gaps that we found in the sector. For example, paying promptly. So this sector, you have to pay cash when you receive the product. Once you've checked quality and you have accepted the quality, you pay cash. So prompt payments become very important. Remember, they are very, very smallholder farmers, and so cash flow is pretty important to them. And so we use technology. We use M-Pesa, so mobile money. We use an application which is web to mobile-based application where we register the farmers on that application, and we use that to pay them directly onto their phones. So prompt payments, but also the weighments. You know, we pay by the kilo, kg. So we found that the brokers that were buying from them were cheating them by way of cheating on the weights. You know, they would tamper with the weighing scales and all that. So we retain integrity in terms of our weighing scales. They're calibrated now and then, they're certified. And so we pay exactly the weight that we get, including the decimal. So if we get 100.8, we'll pay for 100.8 and not round down. So most of the brokers and other processors will round downwards, not even upwards, downwards. And you know, by volume, then it becomes very important to the farmer. As well, we are looking at creating strong relationships with the farmers. So we do communications with the farmers, even through this platform, this application. We send messages to their phones, you know, maintaining communication. When we are opening the collection centers, when we are closing, when we have field days, we communicate some bit of agronomy information. So we are giving some value added services to the farmers, including training. And so those become points of creating loyalty between us and the farmers. So those are just some, but a few of the things we are doing with the farmers.
Amazing. Yeah, thanks so much, Jane. Emmanuel and Shanaz, I'm looking at you, and what I actually got from your businesses is that you do have this innovation, and we have seen many business models here with a lot of innovation. So I'm just wondering, how are you able to push this innovation to a point that the users are able to accept that innovation? So what are some of the set of skills that you can share with us, and especially for those who have innovations? Maybe Emmanuel, you may want to start, and then Shanaz.
Okay, really for us, our innovation was being gotten out of necessity, because initially our business we started with extraction of oil from soybean and groundnut. And we found out that our customers are not really meeting up. They were facing a lot of challenge, most especially the animal farmers, in the sense that they are facing low profit margin, and it's due to the high cost of soybean and groundnut in the market. So that the innovation that came in is that we adopted this baobab seed in place of soybean and groundnut, because the baobab seed is abundantly available in northern Nigeria. And funny enough is that many rural dwellers do not know the economic benefit of this seed. So this, out of research, it prompted us to look for this seed, and we saw that baobab seed really met what we needed. We adopted it as a source of protein fiber in animal feed production. And also the innovation here is that formerly before now, many people don't really have the mind or find it acceptable to use baobab oil for cooking, because it contains some carcinogenic properties. So what we do here is that we develop a machine that is able to remove the properties to make it certifiable, consumable for consumers, to make it human friendly for eating. So that's what we did. So that's another part of the innovation that we adopted too. So I believe another part of the innovation is that we are really helping the rural dwellers, because formerly they do waste away this seed, referring it as waste, as a waste product. So now we're giving them is another source of income from what formerly they regard as waste. And since then, it has been growing, and really now we are putting in effort to see that we grow intentional plantation of baobab tree. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Emmanuel. Shanaz, how are you able to push your innovation? You mentioned that you're looking to get into Africa. So how do you do that?
Actually, we are now started to exploring our opportunities with some distributors over there, and through them we shall distribute our products there in different in Africa, in different states. And yeah, our next question is what is that, Samuel?
Yeah, I wanted to just understand how you're able to push your innovation to the consumers. And from what I got is that you're actually using the agents. But I'm just wondering, do you do the training like Jane is doing to the users of this innovation?
Samuel, actually, I couldn't able to get you what exactly you are asking. I'm sorry about that. Can you repeat it again, please?
It's okay. You did actually mention that you're using distributors to be able to reach to your users.
Yeah.
And I was just wondering whether there are other set of skills that you're actually using to be able to see that more users actually get to use your innovation. Do you do training to the end users?
There is no need to give any training because the devices are itself plug and play kind devices. So assembling is set up in only from our end. So there is no need to no need of or no requirement of training to the farmers. Only we need to aware and give them knowledge about what how the devices are working and what kind of paste would be catch in devices, and what is the time what is the time required to control or paste, and what is the coverage area it covers the device, and what is the life of the product, and what kind of insects would be catched. So these kind of awareness or knowledge would be required to guide the farmers or end users, you can say.
Thank you. Thank you for that.
So these devices
Yeah.
are fully automatic solar-based devices. At that time, they will get charged from sunlight, and after sunset, they will get automatic on and work for 4 to 5 hours, and they get automatic off. And there is no need of human intervention required on day-to-day basis, and there is no need of on-off setup or wiring or mains power. So yeah.
Thanks, Shanaz. Amanda, I'm looking at you. I don't know whether you do have more questions, and perhaps you can as well look at the chat for more questions.
Yeah, I think we should be looking to the chat for more questions. And I just had one question for Shanaz that came up when I was speaking about a different product going to another country. Have any of your customers spoken about if people are stealing these devices from their fields?
We have already applied for patent.
I don't mean patents. I mean somebody coming, taking the machine and stealing it.
Yeah, there is one solution is available with us, like
so that can happen in different places, right? Depending on your security
yeah,
situation.
there is a tracker, you can say, we can track the device and
Oh, okay. So it will tell you where it is. Yeah. So hopefully people won't steal it. That was just a concern of somebody's. Actually, they were looking at putting in a different device, and they said, well, we didn't put it in because we were afraid people are going to steal it.
yeah.
Don't know, but if people steal it, then you have the GPS on it, and you can get the cops involved. Yeah,
actually,
interesting.
Actually, I'm recollecting that name, GPS tracker. I
And
apologize.
someone did have the question for you. Does this affect bees?
No, it is a safeguard to beneficial insects like bees, predators, then parasitoids, nectar and pollen feeding bees, etc. It is 99.99% safe for beneficial insects.
So yeah, basically these traps are only attractive to the kind of pests that eat your plants, not the kind of pests that pollinate them, or not the kind of pests that eat other bugs. So it's like a specific kind of attraction that plant-eating bugs have to your pest trap. Mhm. Let's see, we've got a lot of questions in here and I'm not really sure where to go. Is this good for coconut trees? This can be good for any trees because it's bad for bugs. So if you have a plant that bugs like to eat, then this trap can be good for you. But again, we're looking to do big partnerships there. So 2,000 units before a partnership could happen in this case. But anyway, we wanted to show this business model as an example of, you know, different and innovative ways that pest control can happen in addition, or not in addition, alternative to chemicals. So let's see, Samuel, have you gotten to scan through the questions? Because that's where I would be at, honestly, because I haven't scanned through the questions. Do you have any question in the chat box right now, Samuel? Because I'll have to scan through it, sorry.
It's okay. Yeah, somebody is asking, Shanaz, whether you already have distributors in Nigeria and whether you're open to any opportunity.
We have
Anyone?
just initiated talk in one of the distributor for Nigeria. Just we have signed an MOU. Let us see for the next step.
Perfect. Thanks. Thanks about that.
And
I don't know whether we.
Yeah, I'm just going
Yes,
through.
Amanda.
So I saw two questions. I got two questions for Jane coming up. So Jane, they had questions about the macadamia nut market in general. How is it going, maybe post-COVID, the demand? And also, are you able to sell all of your nuts, or is there additional demand that you can't, that you personally, your company is not able to supply as many orders as you get? So just kind of like a market analysis of these macadamia nuts for us.
Yeah, so the COVID year, the market was low. You know, there was impacts on the market because macadamias are typically seen as not essential foods. You know, when COVID happened, people were not running to buy macadamia nuts, or were running to buy the basic food. So, and also the logistics in the market had changed and all of that. So the demand in that year was really low. But then after that, just like many sectors, the demand has started to shoot. You know, the consumption of macadamia nuts is fueled by the consciousness of health. You know, people are becoming very conscious of health. And so they turn to healthy foods, and macadamia nuts provides that, exactly that. And so the demand is moving high. We have seen 2021 being so much better than even 2019, which was before COVID. And the projections are good. You know, we are looking at, for those that understand it, as compounded annual growth rate of about 7% in the next 5-10 years, which is a good trend. And so in practical terms, we have seen inquiries from buyers, you know, a lot of inquiries increasing but of course we've done a lot of marketing, intensive marketing, which also, it's a combination of factors why we see demand, but generally projected going up. So in terms of sales, 2020, we did not sell everything like everybody. We were so much at risk of even closing down the business. We didn't have sales like for 9 months. But we hung in there and did our research and were able to position ourselves again. Now we have been able to sell 2021, we sold everything, well, almost everything, just very small percentage of inventory was left. This year, we have booked almost 75% of our production, and we're still marketing. So some grades move slower than others. You know, it's an agricultural product, so you'll have different grades, different sizes, different grades. And so some move faster than others. There are those that go into the snack market. Those are going really, really fast. You know, the whole nuts and the big nuts. But the small nuts, the tiny ones, and the small halves, those are not going as fast, which is what goes into the ingredients market. But slowly we are getting there. I think we shall have sold almost everything by the end of the year if all things remain constant. So our capacity has been growing over time. in line with the demand. So we look at the demand and then we see what are the bottlenecks, how can we expand our processing capacity. We can do 300 metric tons a year now of processed nuts, which is about 2,500 metric tons of unprocessed nuts, the raw materials from farmers. So yes, it's positively growing.
Very nice market overview. And I had a couple more questions for you, Jane. They're probably quicker questions. One was if you can share the name of the app that you're using, if you feel comfortable, if that's something some people on the line might be interested in learning how to pay their farmers quicker. And then another question related to that is, do you buy smartphones for the farmers? Do the farmers need a smartphone? Can they use a flip phone? So just a little bit about that technology platform that you talked about that was so important to your business.
Yes, so the platform that we use is called Connected Farmer Application. Connected Farmer Application, CFA. And if you Googled that, I can type it in the chat when I'm done talking because I'm using the phone today.
I'll do it for you.
So Connected Farmer Application, it's an application that we have procured or that we are using from Safaricom. So Safaricom is the biggest telecom provider in Kenya. Most people would know it. Right, it's the one that we use for mobile money and many other transactions. So they have come up with that application that facilitates payments. But also before we got that, we were using mobile wallets. So most of the banks in Kenya, for those of us in Kenya, and maybe even other African countries, would know that the banks have what we call the mobile wallets, using the online platforms. We were using that and it was still working well, only that it is expensive. And that's why we moved, and it has limited functions. And that's why we moved to the CFA, which gives us 3 functions. Like I mentioned, it enables you to register the farmers and the data around farmers, as much as data as you would think is useful for your business. Their geodata, their biodata, the number of acres they have, the number of trees they've planted, the type of trees they have, varieties. You can put as much data as will be helpful for the business. But apart from database, it will also give you enablement to pay to the farmers through the mobile phone. And the third thing is that you can do push notifications, bulk SMSing, and you can filter to the regions that you want, or whatever information you want to pass. So in terms of buying phones for farmers, no, we don't buy phones for farmers. They have farmers. They have phones. So most of the farmers would have phones, and those that don't have will make an effort of getting a phone. It doesn't have to be a smartphone. By the way, mobile M-Pesa, you can use all types of phones. And even the SMSs, they don't have to go to smartphones. The system can still use the USSD. So we don't buy. I think I've answered, Amanda.
Yes, you've answered. Yes, I'm sending you the link personally to see if I got the right link. I tried to find it online from TechnoServe. Is that it? It's called Connected Farmer Alliance. I'm not sure that that's it. So I didn't find it by looking it up. But yes, I wanted to ask the speakers, if possible, you could put your LinkedIn contact into the box. And Jane, you're not available to do so. If I can put in for you as well, your LinkedIn. I saw that Shahnaz has put her email address as well as her LinkedIn. So if anybody is interested in learning more about her product or following up with her, definitely write to her with your points of question, and you can do that. And I will be looking up Jane's what do you call that, LinkedIn profile to put that in there as well, and also to Emmanuel. Samuel, would you like, or would you be able to go with another question, perhaps?
Absolutely. One of the support areas that the Land Accelerator is giving to entrepreneurs, or rather has given Jane and Emmanuel, is the aspect of pitching to investors or building the understanding for entrepreneurs to be able to engage with the investors. I'm looking at you, Emmanuel and Jane. Perhaps you may want to share your journey with the investors from the day that you got into the Land Accelerator. Emmanuel, we can start with you and then Jane. And equally, I would also be happy to hear from Shahnaz. We can see you already have a pitch deck. Emmanuel?
Yeah, so really, the land accelerator really gave me the needed skill, most especially on how to prepare a very good pitch deck. And presently, we have been using it to pursue other calls with other investors. And really, I'm able to make it to Kenya when my other fellows pitched. But still, we are pushing it on, and we're making 1 or 2 calls with other investors. And really, the truth is that the land accelerator experience was very unique. It gave me and my team the needed skill to be able to push forward our business. And we are very hopeful and optimistic that it will turn out to be beneficial in terms of having investments and also other funds to advance the course of our business, most especially planting more trees. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Emmanuel. Jen, you want to jump in?
Yeah, thank you for that question. So our journey with investors, and even before that, very grateful for Land Accelerator for great sessions and great skills and mentorship through the program over the time we attended on preparation of a pitch document and how to pitch. You know, it adds on to, you know, the knowledge we had and give us quite a lot more. And of course, the linkages with investors. We had the boot camp where we got investors coming in, real live sessions with them. And then afterwards, there has been a lot. In fact, if I could call it, it's almost an overload of investors that I introduced and that are shared. Thanks so much, Samuel. You've always been very consistent with that. So we have been able to continue raising funds. You know, a business like ours and like yours, for it to scale, you've got to get more investors and the right investors. You know, of course, you have to have your own criteria on the type of investors that would make an impact in your business. So we were able to get new investors. We already had some before we joined Land Accelerator, but we were able to get specific ones that would catalyze our growth as far as especially on the side of farmers and planting of trees. So we were able to participate in the call for proposals and the Terra Fund, the AFR 100. And thankfully, we were able to be shortlisted and selected, and we have received the financing already to support, you know, our operations as far as especially getting more trees planted, macadamia trees planted, establishing propagation units, and getting to our dreams of having over 100,000 seedlings planted by farmers over 2 years. So that is what we are working on, is keeping us busy to set up all that and ensure that we are getting the right quality certified seedlings to farmers, not only within the 2 years, but even afterwards, how to sustain it and continuously make that available. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Jane. Shanaz, we can see you already have a pitch deck. Perhaps you may want to speak about your engagement with the investors.
Yeah,
Go ahead, Shahnaz. I've muted that person.
the Land Accelerator program was indeed great and professionally well managed. And I have got an access to world-class mentors, the much needed customer connects, then an opportunity to present our project to the investors. And in fact, Amanda and other team from Land Accelerator program, they have taken a lot of what I say. They are my apologies. Actually, I'm a little bit disturbed here. They are helping to how to prepare a pitch and how to present our pitch to investors. So I am thankful here to the Land Accelerator team for this wonderful opportunities. And I'm thanking here to WRI team as well.
Thank you so much, Shanaz, for that. Jane, Levis have some academia in Taita, so he's wondering whether that's an area of interest.
Yeah, I was busy typing, answering Lewis's question. Yes, we are in Taita, Lewis. Over the last 3 years, we have been buying macadamia nuts. Actually, Taita produces top quality macadamia nuts. We really love to buy from there, despite the distance. You know, it's quite far. It's close to 500 kilometers from Nairobi, but we are buying from there. So in case you haven't been reached, please, you can reach me. And I can connect you to our buyers. We have some buyers there that are buying for us, a collection center already there. We've bought almost 100 tons from Taita Taveta already. So let me know, if you have nuts or people that have nuts.
Making the business connections, perfect. And I got a question if there's an attendance form for today. We don't have attendance on Thursdays. These are optional meetings for you to get to know more business models across the different geographies. So you can come up with different ideas, partnership ideas like you're seeing today, and reach out to different entrepreneurs and learn more about the deep value and the deep expertise that they've built up over the years of implementing their businesses. So I think we found out that these Thursday sessions have been really exciting for people, and that's why we see people continuing to come. So we want to thank our speakers, and I don't know if we even have time for maybe 1 or 2 more questions, but do check the chat box right now because we're seeing some email addresses right there from Jane. I put Emmanuel's email address in there. Shahnaz has put hers. So anyone who wants to should really be following up with them afterwards. And let's see, Samuel, do you have any last questions or maybe just farewell words for our great speakers today, our great alumni?
Yeah, absolutely. I wanted to give them a chance to inspire the current cohort. I know Jane has been one of the leading mentors to the previous cohort, and equally Shanaz and Emmanuel, all of them making it to top 15. So perhaps in a few seconds, you can just give nice words to the current cohort, kind of a motivation. Yeah, thanks.
Well, can I start?
Yes, please do.
Thank you, Samuel, Amanda, once again, and the participants of today's meeting. It has been very inspiring for me. I've learned a lot. My word for you and for all of us is that we can get as far as we dream. So it starts with a dream and ambition, what you want to achieve. That's how we made it. It's not the money. It's not the investment that you make. Remember, for example, myself, I left employment. At that time of leaving employment, you have no money. Nobody saves enough when you're in employment. So it's about vision, it's about passion, it's about planning, it's about utilizing the skills and looking at opportunities and networking, and everybody is an asset. For example, here we have 62 people participating. Each of those is an asset to each one of us in different ways. So everybody I meet, I try to, to see how can we work together, how can we utilize the learning together. So shoot high and you will get there. We are not there yet. There are many things we want to do, and we can talk about that in another session that is so interesting. There's never an end to it, but with passion, we are able to achieve a lot more. And of course, the partnerships that we have, like Land Accelerator teams and others, are pretty so useful. Thank you. All the best.
Thank you, Jane. Emmanuel, and then we can have Shanaz.
So really, I'm very grateful for the opportunity to be in this section. All I have to say is that really it's about becoming a better version of ourselves, because we're into it for the long haul. It's not as if something that we just start and drop it by the way. We have to hopefully pass it to another generation. So for me is like developing ourselves, even through this Land Accelerator program, becoming a better version of ourselves. When we get to do that, the benefit of it will spread out even to our business, our family, and other people around, and even into the ecosystem. So I'm very grateful for being in this program. I'm wishing everybody the best. That we should keep on dreaming. Thank you.
Amazing, Emmanuel. Shanaz?
Yeah, it's my an immense pleasure and honor to be here as a speaker, and I'm extremely grateful to the Land Accelerator team, and I'm looking forward to get connected with all of you, and excited to get associated with all of you. And thank you so much. Congratulations to all of you, and thank you so much for audience, and looking forward to remain in touch with you, all of you. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Shanaz. Back to you, Amanda, perhaps for the final
Oh.
words.
Well, this has just been a really fun presentation today and a great time to get to reconnect with all of you. We wish we could see you all in person, but since we can't, we can all meet more people than we've ever met before. So do reach out. I put the contact information in the chat box, and we look forward to seeing you guys next Tuesday for Africa and next Wednesday for South Asia. Really glad that you could join us today, and we wish you a good evening.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Okay, bye-bye.